Good Tuesday morning. Boomer out again today. We'll be back on Thursday. That means that Jerry is here. Good morning, Jerry. What's happening?
Gee, what is going on? Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Yeah, there's not much going on. I got to tell you, it was a day yesterday where it was a relaxing day. Didn't feel like I had a lot of pressure on me. You know what I mean? You know, you feel like some days you got a lot of pressure on you. Yesterday, I didn't feel like I had a lot of pressure on me.
Yesterday did feel like a good spring day, though, if it wasn't for the damn snow on the ground. Like, it felt like we're turning the corner. The sun was bright. It was high. I feel like we're getting there.
Yeah, we have kids of the age, though, that when they're home from school, like they're home from school right now, you got to keep them constantly entertained. That's the only issue I have going on. If that's the only issue I have going on, it's a pretty good life,
You're doing just fine.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've been there, done that. I'm a little beyond you, but yes, I know what you mean.
I find out when I've tried to teach myself when I say that I'm bored, that bored's probably a good thing. Because all of the other options that could be going on, boredom's not so bad.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Because then nothing terrible is happening.
You know what the problem with being bored is? You had 800 steps on Sunday. You didn't need another 800 step Monday.
No, I went to a simulator yesterday.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I did do that. And then did a bunch of stuff with the kids afterwards when I got home. So, no, yesterday was an active day for me.
Good.
After a Sunday of just laying there like a total pile of crap. Watching golf.
I pulled your Sunday on Monday watching Landman.
Oh, yeah, you're into Landman, huh?
I am, yeah. I watched a couple of those yesterday, yes.
Paramount Plus Landman.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big Paramount Plus guy.
Everybody loves that Landman.
You know what? I was never a big fan of Billy Bob Thornton. His character in this show is outstanding. And not to be a pig, but the girls in the show.
Well, everybody says that when they call up here.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's a really good show. So far, so good.
It's all right, be a pig, you know?
Well, yeah, okay. I guess so. I suppose so.
I mean, they're putting them on there for a reason, right?
Dude, it's ridiculous.
Like they didn't hire Lizzo and put her in the show, you know what I mean?
No, it's a good show. I enjoy it. I think I'm 4 in, but pretty good. So that kept me busy for a couple hours yesterday.
So I see this Tyreek Hill news. The Dolphins end up releasing him, and two thoughts came to my mind. One is that team's going to be really bad, and they're probably – I mean, I can't imagine that Tua's going to continue to be there or what they're going to do with him, but I feel like they are going into straight tank mode right now, and this is a team that's going to try to get one of the quarterbacks next year and maybe even Arch Manning. So that's a franchise that I could see just going right down the tubes this particular year to try to build themselves back up. But that was the first thought that I had, is that the Jets might not finish last in the division in the AFC East.
No, they might not. I mean, the Dolphins might be the worst team in football this year. If you're getting rid of Tyreek Hill, I don't think Tua is going to be there. You know, and you also think about the quarterback situation in the NFL and the guys that are going to be available, what the Jets might do, who might be under center for them. It does feel like no matter what the Jets do, their timing is always lousy, meaning they hire Aaron Glenn last year. This offseason was the offseason with all these great coaches being available, but we're not changing our coach. We've got our coach. Okay, fine. So now you go into next year, and I'm not saying they'd even let him come to the Jets, but supposedly Arch Manning might come out after next year, and he could be the number 1 pick in the draft. But the Jets, I don't believe, are going to play to be a bad team this year because Aaron Glenn has to prove he can coach. So they might end up being like one of these middling 7-8 win teams that's in the middle of the pack, and they're going to miss out on the franchise quarterback again.
Yeah, they do have a ton of picks, though, so they might be able to trade up and get that guy, which is what the draft capital can be used for as well. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, but at this point, just winning some games and trending in the right direction is a good thing because, as we talked about many times before, even if the Jets are in a position to pick a quarterback, it ends up being the wrong guy or it's the right guy at the wrong time,
right?
Like Sam Darnold. But, you know, it's just amazing to me with certain guys in sports. And Tyreek Hill is one of these guys where he has been a mesmerizing person to watch on the field with his speed and the Super Bowls in Kansas City or maybe just the one. Did he win 1 or 2 with them? But either way, he won a championship at the very least with the Kansas City Chiefs and the speed and the cheetah and the this and the that. So when he gets released, you know, we all just go, wow, you know, where's he going to go and what type of fit is he going to be? Is he going to go back to Kansas City, and now you got Bieniemy back there, and maybe you get Tyreek Hill back there, and they run it back because their offense was bad last year, as opposed to being like, you know, this guy is the worst. He is one of the worst human beings in the league. Now, I know that a lot of this is not like he hasn't been arrested and been in jail for these things, but I'm sorry. There's just too many things that have piled up over the years. And he's also a jerk and a bad teammate. And now he's 33 years old.
And yet, if a team thinks that he can help them win, they will sign him in a finger snap. I mean, because that's what we do. We look the other way at all the transgressions, all the issues. If the guy can catch the football and make my team better, we will sign him. And I do think, if it was going to be a team like Kansas City, it would make sense from the standpoint of the face of that franchise and organization is Patrick Mahomes. It's unquestioned. You can't, if you're Tyreek Hill or you're an organization that doesn't have strong leadership at that position, you can't sign him because it ain't going to work.
Yeah, I mean, these wide receivers that are just bad guys continue to get these jobs. Like, they squeezed every last drop out of Antonio Brown before he completely blew up. Stephon Diggs is another one of these guys who's just the absolute pits, and he somehow finds his way on a roster. And now everybody out there is going to be clamoring over Tyreek Hill. Just to remind everybody, if you don't know, because you're like, oh, well, the Cheetah was on my fantasy team in 2019, and what a season. All right, so December 2014, while at Oklahoma State, he was arrested for felony domestic assault and battery by strangulation involving his then-pregnant girlfriend. She alleged he punched her in the face and stomach, choked her, and threw her on the ground. He was dismissed from the Oklahoma State football and track teams the next day. In 2015, he pled guilty to those charges. 2019, the Hill and that same woman, Crystal Espinal, were under investigation for alleged child abuse after the 3-year-old had suffered a broken arm, if you remember that one.
Yeah.
2023, Hill was involved in a physical altercation with an employee at the marina when he punched a guy in the face. Remember that whole thing, or hit him in the head? June 23, allegations surfaced later in a lawsuit that Tyreek Hill broke the leg of Instagram model Sophie Hall. You remember that one? She filed a lawsuit against them. September 24, Hill was detained by the police outside of Hard Rock Stadium because he was going 100 miles an hour, and they pulled him over, and they probably used too much force on him, but still he was doing a bad thing. Prior to that, April 2025, police responded to a domestic disturbance at Hill's residence involving his wife, Kita Vaccaro. They married in 2023. No charges were filed, but Vaccaro filed divorce for the next day. And then in early September 2025, in divorce-related court filings, she accused Hill of 8 separate incidents of domestic violence, physical attacks while pregnant. Hill denied those claims. So, all of these things, like, I mean, people go, oh, how many times have you been in jail? How many times have you been arrested? You have any lawsuits against you for punching pregnant women in the face? No.
I don't. No.
Right, okay. I mean, do you have any, did CPS show up at your house multiple times? Any Instagram model say that you broke her leg? Like, I understand that he's a target because he makes a lot of money, but this guy clearly has got issues. He's got issues. So, but we're just going to pick him up and throw him on a roster. It's insane.
Some team will. Yeah. I mean, it's just we were talking about this the other day. I bring up Greg Hardy with the Cowboys. I mean, the allegations against him, the photos that were out there, and the things that he supposedly did, and yet, can he sack the quarterback? Like, it's a terrible. It's the reality of the sport and what we are as fans. It's awful. But if you, based on what you just said, you would think this guy is getting a job. Someone's going to sign him this offseason, and then he will be on a team.
On top of that, let's just forget about like the criminal, horrible, domestic things that we have outlined here. I mean, think about him when he, after the season, not this past year, but the previous year, was like, I'm out of here. Screw this at the end of the season. Okay, all right, terrible teammate, jerk. And then this year he gets hurt and starts clapping and cheering as he's going off the field because he knows he doesn't have to be a part of the team the rest of the year, and he's still going to get paid.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look at him. He was so into this, and then even, yes, thank you, yes. Look at him, see?
Smiling and laughing.
Yes, bye.
Yeah.
Look, yes. That's what he was saying. You can't tell me that he was, like, lost his mind because he got hurt. He was thrilled. And there was even video of him in the ambulance still smiling.
But he's got the most touchdowns at 50-plus yards, the 4th most in the history of the league.
And then you got guys out there who have lawsuits against the league that can't get head coaching jobs, like Brian Flores and John Gruden, for different reasons. But those guys are completely untouchable because they've got lawsuits against the league. But this guy will be in a training camp like, no problem.
No, he will be.
Bring him right in, no problem.
Yeah.
Guy sucks.
Yeah.
And
people will be wearing
bad guy.
People will be wearing his jersey. And they'll be cheering for him when he's running down the sideline if that does happen.
But I mean, he's 33 now. He's not as quick as he was coming off a major injury.
Yeah, yes, you are correct. But he's 33 and he's not 43. And in this day and age, guys are playing longer and are sustaining their athleticism longer. So, the rumor is Kansas City. Would you be shocked if he was a Chief?
No, I wouldn't. And then they'll just get all of that will just get swallowed up because everybody thinks that Andy Reid is just like football Santa Claus and he's the coolest guy in the world. Well, I mean, that franchise should be ashamed of themselves with some of the nonsense that has gone on with the supporter Rashee Rice, and if they bring this idiot back, but just like it's because it's Andy Reid and he's got his big mustache and he's roly poly and everything's great. I mean, nobody actually questions that organization because they have success.
Yeah, they win.
I mean, it's the same thing. Like I remember. With the Steelers all those years, like the Steeler way, the Steeler way. I'm like, they bring in as many scummers as anybody else. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Well, it's a Steeler way out here. Okay, you got your quarterback who's getting accused of rape down in Georgia. You got this other guy who's going completely crazy, quitting on the sidelines.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got people all over the place doing horrible things. It's insane.
It's not. This isn't the first time. It ain't going to be the last time. It's big business, and it's sadly all that matters is winning football games. And I said this back in the day, when I always bring up Hardy because as a Cowboy fan, that signing bothered me. And it always has. Yet, unless the fans are going to stop showing up, let me ask you this. What's the motivation not to sign him? Like, what's the recourse exactly?
Well, I mean, there's no recourse. I mean, to answer your question, what a GM or a head coach or somebody's going to say is the guy's coming off a major injury. He's 33 years old. He's not going to be the same player. It's not like he's a big, strong body. You could throw the ball up, he can go get it. His entire game is based on speed. He's not as fast as he used to be, and he's a jerk.
Right. So everything you just said, though, is football related.
And in the end, he's a jerk on top of it.
Right. So I'm talking about what would be this has been out there as it's probably a long shot, but the idea that Deshaun Watson could end up with the Jets, who knows? We'll see. There's a long off season to go. Jet fans going to be happy with that? No, not now. But the first touchdown pass he throws in September, they're going to be standing, cheering, screaming for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I also think, though, that has more to do with well, Deshaun Watson also served, he was on the commissioner's list for an entire year and then served an 11-game suspension.
I understand.
Like Tyreek Hill's never served any sort of suspension for anything when it should have been the personal conduct policy with all this stuff that was. His biggest one, though, happened when he was in college.
All I'm saying is we look the other way.
Yeah,
soon as the guy performs, we look the other way.
And I can't disagree with that. But I do think that more Jet fans would be upset with the fact, not so much about the pervert massage thing, but more so with the fact that he hasn't played in forever and looks like a guy who's not taking his career seriously and tore the same Achilles twice.
Fair.
Like, that's where people are going to be like, with Deshaun Watson, what are you, crazy? This guy hasn't played in forever. He's always hurt, doesn't care about anything, got his guaranteed contract and basically put his feet up in the air and has been a non-factor. So, and then on top of it, you'll have the massage thing. But I don't think that, but just as you said, like they're going to, if it was somebody who actually was playing really well, like the Browns fans were thrilled to get Deshaun Watson at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was fresh off the whole thing before he ended up dealing with all the injuries and all the stuff, the Achilles stuff.
All right, so then let's make it about Tyreek Hill then. Let's just say again,
he's going to go back to the Chiefs.
Fine, but even let's say the Giants thought he'd be the perfect complement for Malik Neighbors, or the Jets need a wide receiver. They say, you know what, Garrett Wilson needs someone opposite him. I'm telling you that, people would be annoyed maybe once he has the first touchdown catch. No one would care.
I'm not disagreeing.
And it's because in other parts of life you don't get these second, third, fourth, fifth chances. You just don't.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing at all with that. It's just that somebody needs to point these things out, like occasionally. It's just the first reaction can't always be what fit. Here are the top 5 teams that Tyreek Hill fits with. It's like, how about this guy is a bad, scummy human being? How about that? Just once at the top of the article.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, allegedly has treated women just about as bad as anybody in the history of the NFL. And children, too, on top of it, allegedly. Yeah, and just one after another of these issues. A terrible teammate. But the articles that you get are, give me the top 5 teams. Tyreek Hill is it going to be reunited with Andy Reid?
Yeah,
and the big old Andy Reid.
Pieces you'll see online and on TV, same thing.
Love to have the cheetah back. Screw that guy.
Understood.
Sucks.
Understood.
He really does. And one of his lives popped up on my social media where he was just sitting there like playing video games and talking to people and stuff. And I was just like, just listening to him and looking at him. Just bad guy.
If you're you, just hope your Vikings don't take him. Not that they're going to, or he's rumored to. You don't have to worry about it. You just be annoyed by it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really. I mean, you know how I am with them at this point. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't really. I'm more concerned about what happens here than I am with the Minnesota Vikings and what's going on with the teams here. That impacts my life a hell of a lot more. And even if the Vikings ended up winning a Super Bowl, it would be for all the teams that I grew up watching. I wouldn't necessarily have the connection with these guys because I'm older than all of them.
That,
you know?
We're older than the coaches now.
I would just be happy if they had if they won a Super Bowl and up in the box I look over there and I see Randy Moss and John Randall and whomever else. Even maybe the guys like Alan Page or something, even though it was before my time.
Sure,
that would be the thing. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people who have passed away over the years, including Denny Green. But I'd be happy for those.
Understood.
For that, all those years that they weren't winning. But yeah, I mean, I hope Tyreek Hill doesn't come here.
I did think it was funny though. Just mentioned the Vikings when Alan and Steeler were talking about that Sears catalog. That the Vikings were the team that was featured with those pajamas and I guess they were in the Super Bowl. What, they lost 4 of them in the 70s? 4 of them, yeah. So they were maybe not. They weren't the Steelers because the Steelers went to 4 and won 4, but they were a damn good franchise for that decade.
Yeah.
Damn good.
And you fast forward to 2026, and now you want to burn as a Vikings fan. You want the most. You got to pour gasoline on your pajamas as opposed to the flame retardant pajamas.
Understood.
All right. Boomer and Gio and Jerry in for Boomer on the Fan and CBS Sports Network. CeeLo joins us just a couple of minutes. Weather right now brought to you by